Tonight, families cheering as Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo was denied a leave of absence from the Uvalde City Council. Many, including Texas State Senator Paul Bettencourt, are calling for the chief to resign and to testify in front of the public on the more than 70 minutes officers were inside Robb Elementary School with the shooter before breaching the door and killing him.
All the while, children and staff were injured and dying inside one of the classrooms, according to the DPS director, McCraw. During this city council meeting in Uvalde tonight, the mayor said the DPS was misleading in their testimony to lawmakers in Austin today.
Every briefing, he leaves out the number of his own officers and rangers that were on scene that day. He leaves out that during this timeline, every other classroom in the building was safely evacuated by Uvalde police officers with assistance of Border Patrol. He leaves out that no other agency's officers even asked to approach the door, much less did it without shields. Of the 8 agencies and 14 people in that office, in that hallway, up to 19 at one time.
This as we continue to learn more about the devastating details that happened at Robb Elementary School 1 month ago this week. Texas senators have been holding a public hearing in Austin, giving a hard look at the failures to the school, leading to the deaths of 19 children and 2 teachers. Thanks for joining us at 9 o'clock. I'm Robert Hadley.
And I'm Britt Marino. Today's hearing highlights the effort to stop mass shootings. KXAN is taking an in-depth look in a series of reports to provide context in the wake of Uvalde as Texans search for solutions.
KXAN's Daniel Marin has been looking into some of these solutions. He joins us live from the state capitol. Daniel.
And that hearing you were talking about is still going tonight. They're on 12 hours of testimony so far. It began this morning with DPS Director McCraw, and as you know, he had a lot to say.
Terrible decisions were made by the on-scene commander and should have never happened, plain and simple.
Scathing testimony from DPS Director Steve McCraw, who told senators the Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo put the lives of officers before the lives of children.
3 minutes after the subject entered the West Building, there was a sufficient number of armed officers wearing body armor to isolate, distract, and neutralize the subject.
McCraw says officers were directed to wait 1 hour and 14 minutes before confronting the gunman in a room that investigators now say wasn't locked.
Anything to the people of Uvalde.
Arredondo himself was also at the Capitol, taking no questions from reporters following his own 5-hour testimony as part of a separate House Investigative Committee hearing downstairs from the Senate hearing.
There is no question about it that there were a number of problems. Some of them were leadership, some of them are training.
Back in the Senate as the afternoon progressed, more perspective from law enforcement groups, including Alert, the renowned active shooting training center at Texas State University. They offered this advice to the state.
I think we need to increase standards. If our expectations are high, so should the standards be.
And DPS Director McCraw told the senators that he doesn't think that Chief Arredondo is a bad person, just that he made some bad decisions. Now, Arredondo for himself has been saying that he didn't consider himself to be the incident commander on that day. The hearing is scheduled to continue tomorrow. We'll send it back to you.